This is the Jack Murphy Podcast. Here's your host, Jack Murphy.
I've come to the conclusion, or at least I strongly believe, that we're getting set up for some sort of a big reveal this summer. Welcome to the Jack Murphy Podcast. I am joined today by Alpha Travett, the actor and sometimes sci-fi movie actor. What was the name of that sci-fi movie you did?
The sci-fi movie?
It was E.T., I think.
And retired banker Daniel Wheeler. So, it's just, to me, it's weird. Do you agree that they're releasing all these UFO videos in little batches? They'll do 5 or 6 here, 5 or 6 here, and important people are talking about them. The president of the United States.
And giving out cryptic hints about, I'm not sure the public can comprehend this, not sure they'll accept it, all that kind of stuff.
Congressman Burchett that we've talked about all the time, talking about the UFOs, and then right as we're getting to the peak release and everybody being in on it, now the Spielberg movie's about to come out. Now, I went online this morning.
How convenient.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of reminds you of, the moon landing. And,
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, everybody says that, there's a big theory that the moon landings were faked and they were done on a soundstage, and Stanley Kubrick directed them. And there's a lot of people that believe that. And I don't know, but
I've read so many of the conspiracy theories and stuff that I'm starting to doubt this myself.
Well,
like who was filming them, and all that kind of
things
stuff.
like when they're on the moon and the flag's waving.
There's no wind on the moon.
There's no atmosphere on the moon, and they came up with some cockamamie excuse for that. And then, like you said, Daniel, when they're crawling down the ladder to get out of the thing to be the first. Who's out there filming it?
Who's filming it? Did they leave him behind?
Plus, if you ever look at that, the orbiter as it comes back, the one that came back through the atmosphere, and they talk about the Van Allen belt and how hot it gets and how it can be bombarded sometimes by, and it looks like it's made of aluminum foil.
Yes,
And on top of that, how did the buggy get there? You had this little pod that they came in on.
Yeah.
Where were they carrying the buggy?
I've been to the Space Center in Florida, and, they have a lot of that stuff on display, and you look at it and you go,
yeah,
like a damn Diet Coke can. They went up
like
in
we
a
could have made it ourselves. I mean,
Yeah.
you put a gazebo together, you could build one of those.
I mean, it literally looked like a triangle-shaped Coke can with some switches and buttons in it. And you think that went to the moon? I don't know. And then there's like one picture where the guy's jumped up in the air or something. It's a still photo, but it's almost like you can see the harness on his back holding him up, as he's jumping.
And less computer.
I want to believe it so bad, but
less computer capacity than we have in Apple Watch now. And they did it all on a slide rule.
They had no. Yeah, I saw
How about let me ask you this? How about the phone calls?
Oh, clear as a bell. Yeah,
how I can't even get phone service in Appomattox. How the hell do you get it on the move?
The last 3 weekends, my AT&T fiber's been out, and I only have one bar. I can't make a call.
But everybody heard them loud and clear. And it was perfect.
Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon in the Oval Office talking to them.
Well, I will say this: we're all worse off for digital telephones. If you go back and listen to the Kennedy or Lyndon Johnson phone calls, the analog phone was much better quality as far as voice transmission went. But you couldn't do as many phones and so forth. But I don't know. Just a lot of that stuff looks fake to me. And now, one of the things that bugs me about these new UFO files are they're all so different.
But they don't show anything. It's like a
Well,
spot.
some of
Like
them do.
Bigfoot.
Have you seen the one that looks like a star that kind of changes shape? I think that one could be
Yeah.
an angel. I don't know, but it could be an
Hey,
angel.
But it's not anything that you could go, oh, that's a spaceship. I mean, you can't. It's just like a dot.
Well,
And-
here's a couple of the newest ones that have just been released. Take a look at this. This is from the Department of War. It was released on the 22nd. Here we go. And they're tracking this. Why is everything blacked out around there?
Right.
What's that? Is that our aircraft following it? Why is it redacted? And then it just zooms away so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's another one. It's like Daniel says, we spend trillions on defense. Our cameras suck. Boom, and there it goes away.
I mean,
But anyway, I just think it's really weird that all these things are being released, and now you've got Steven Spielberg on television doing the movies. I want to play you this new trailer, the latest trailer that just came out for Disclosure Day, and there's a little interview with Steven Spielberg.
I can see them. I am much more inclined now than I was when I made Close Encounters to really believe that we're not the only intelligent civilization in the universe.
What did you steal?
Secrets. People have a right to know the truth.
This is a story about us. All of us.
Good morning, Kansas City.
Up against the most extraordinary event in human history.
What's happening to me? I'm frightened. I'm frightened out of my wits.
You don't need to be. You have someone else.
Daniel Kellner.
Who is this?
Do not go back to the house. They found you. I don't know who you are, but they're gonna kill you.
The human race cannot accept what we know. We need to stop it any way we can.
What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing?
Anyway, it looks fabulous, and of course Spielberg did it, so I'm sure it's directed well. But it just seems like there's an awful lot of convergence happening all at once around UFOs, and
the pace is quickening.
It really is. I know they didn't film that in Appomattox, because if that deer showed up in somebody's living room, they'd have shot it right there on the spot. It'd been dead.
It'd be on the wall.
It'd be cooking in this weekend.
Yeah. When is that supposed
Head would be on the wall and steaks in the freezer.
When does that come out? July?
Probably, yeah.
Isn't that what we were talking about? They had the, I think they're pre-selling the IMAX tickets for July release, and they were like
$50, wasn't it?
$50-something for a ticket or whatever. Now, I'll go to the theater to see that. I want to see that movie.
Would you pay $50?
I ain't hide money.
I don't think I'm going to pay $50. I'll go to the regular one to see it, but
I'll wait till it comes out on Netflix.
By the way, Stanley Kubrick's family, his daughter, swears that he had nothing to do with it. But what does that mean? I mean, you could pay anybody to say anything.
Yeah. Don't ever tell.
My spider sense is acting like crazy. That means only one thing. Trouble. Okay, Spidey, do your stuff. Spider sense is tingling even more. Somebody at the bugle's in danger.
Speaking of secrets, we're in the wrong business.
Uh-oh.
It seems to me the place to be is the CIA. I mean, this guy that they busted yesterday, this is unbelievable. A former CIA officer with top secret level clearance has been accused of stealing $40 million from the CIA. And he had it in gold bars at his house. and a bunch of Rolexes, and apparently all he had to do, he'd fill out a request for money. He'd say, I need it for some spies. Just put it down.
I need 5 $20,000 Rolexes for them to wear.
I need $1 million in spy money. I'm gonna give it to about 10 spies. I'll get back with you on what they tell me. And then nobody follows up or what, because he'd just go to the gold store and buy gold bars. And Alf and I were talking about this earlier. Bury them or get a fake ID.
Why get so greedy? Why do you need 40 million? Once you got 10, 15, retire, send it off somewhere to a foreign country.
Once they get away with it, they keep on going.
I just watched the movie yesterday. Who are the two brothers, the Australian actors, the one that played Thor? He was in this movie, and he's a thief. He's a jewelry thief. And he meets this girl, and he eventually tells her that, and he's going for this one last score, and it's like $11 million or something. And she goes, "Would that be walk-away money?" He said, "That's walk-away money." Apparently, this guy didn't know when he had walk-away money. But $40 million he had stolen over a period of years, and nobody had any idea.
Someone has to get the hatchet for that.
It was kind of an accident that they discovered he'd stolen all of it.
We had a few people over the years that tried some stupid stuff at the bank, and it takes, they get away with it for a little while, but eventually they get caught.
Now, did they prosecute them or just make them pay it back?
One of them was prosecuted. The other one, her mother came in and cashed her 401 in and paid us back.
Oh, wow.
At the bank, we had a bank up in Greensboro. It was Bank of America.
But it was like, one of them was like 10,000. One of them was like 20,000. So.
We had one, this woman, real nice lady. She was about 50 years old and, drove an ordinary car because she was always at the bank, and I'd seen her getting in and out of her car. And one day she wasn't there, and I didn't say anything, and a couple of weeks go by, and I go, "What happened to so-and-so?" And they went, "She's no longer with the bank." And what happened?
He retired.
Not allowed to talk. She's just not with the bank anymore. And found out she had been stealing money for like 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And they nailed her.
Well, you remember when it used to be Central Fidelity, then it went to Wachovia, then it went to
Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo. But they had a lady in the trust department that had been stealing money for like 20 years.
The distrust department.
And they finally caught her. But she got away with it for like 20 years.
That's like, Alpha, what was, when we lived in Charlotte, and we worked together back in the early 80s here in Charlotte, Bank of America at the time was called North Carolina National Bank or?
NCNB? Yeah, I think that's right.
NCNB, and then it became not Bank of America, but
Nations.
Was it Nations Bank?
Nations.
And then they merged with Bank of America out of San Francisco, and they took that name, In fact, the guy, Hugh McCauley, I think was his name. Isn't that his name? Hugh
Sounds
McCauley.
familiar, yeah.
He was like the driving force behind all those mergers in Bank of America's. He was best friends with the guy that owned the Panthers, Jerry Richardson, that passed away. And Hugh McCall, he still shows up on the news every now and then doing something. He's still alive and kicking, I think. Anyway.
Well, they had the guy from the CEO from Bank of America in Congress. They were hammering on him. Who was it? AOC that was hammering on him?
Yeah, he's the newer.
He turned it around on her.
Yeah, he's the newer guy. I can't think of his name right now, but they're not as high profile, either them or the Wells Fargo guys, as those guys used to be. Now it's all Jamie Dimon. He's the one that everybody knows. But there's $40 million. If there's one guy at the CIA stealing 40, I bet there's thousands more stealing $500,000 or $1 million.
100,000.
You know, somewhere.
And I bet they're laying low right now.
My doctor says, "You are fat." I said, "How fat am I?" He said, "You're so fat that if you don't stop, within a month you could have a heart attack or stroke."
That's not funny.
Well, he's not a comedian.
No. I was expecting a joke.
You're expecting a joke?
Yeah, I thought it sounded like yours.
From my cardiologist?
I guess.
There's a woman who's a professor at Ball State University. She was fired after she caused what was caused a significant disruption to the school with her social media post about Charlie Kirk. She was not a fan. Her name was Suzanne Swerwick, and she was fired. She started attacking Charlie Kirk after the assassination, saying, you know, he was a racist, and if you like him, we can't be, you know, all this stuff. Anyway, she sued, won. They had to pay her $225,000 for saying bad things about Charlie Kirk and firing him.
Well, apparently you can get away with saying anything like that if you're in a university. Have you seen Hakeem Jeffries' brother, who's a professor? Hassan Kwame Jeffries, professor at Ohio State University. He is encouraging everybody to emulate John Brown and take up arms, not only against the government, but also to go ahead and attack groups of white people.
Really?
He's actually coming out and saying this. Yeah, we need to emulate John Brown.
You know, it's pretty amazing what a lot of these, we talk about how the Democratic Party, they're really teetering on going extremely left. In fact, I just read a story this morning, the latest Democratic polling. You know who's the leading Democratic candidate for president next time is?
AOC?
Pete Buttigieg.
Pete.
Oh, Lord.
Pete is the leader right now. And
he might have ringworm.
So, and then there's the Democratic candidate for Senate in Texas. What's his name?
Talrico.
Talrico, yeah.
Who was supposed to be a minister. If he is, he's the worst kind of minister. But he made a lot of really incendiary statements like God is binary. There are at least 6 different genders. You know, everything that would cause a conservative person to cringe, he said. And when he started falling behind a little bit in the polls, now I heard him this morning on television saying, well, I didn't really mean that. I was trying to make another kind of statement. Didn't come out right. I didn't really mean God is binary. I shouldn't have said that. It's kind of cringy now that I hear it, and just trying to take back.
I mean,
everything.
there's just. I mean, to me, there's no way he can win in Texas.
In Texas, right?
There's just no way.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Remember, they had a liberal governor, Ann Richards, for a long time. That was a big Clinton supporter, and Austin is very liberal. University of Texas is very liberal, and they have a huge immigrant population that they kind of sway back and forth, you know. So I worry a little bit about Texas. We'll see.
Well, there are some Democrats who are starting to go, hey, wait a minute, maybe we are swinging a little too far to the left. This guy in Pennsylvania, what's his name, Prater, with the Nazi tattoo and all that. There are some people going, oh, we might have messed up making him our candidate.
If you've got Nazi tattoos, you probably messed up.
Yeah, and then some of the other things he said over posts that he's erased over the years, just as bad, and accusing an American soldier who had a Purple Heart recipient of being a coward.
Exactly. That guy makes me sick. I can't think of his name right now, but he makes me sick.
God damn.
Daniel, did you have any damage? Daniel was texting. He gets scared like a little girl, And he starts texting us. He goes, "It's really dark here." And
I was sitting in the chair,
and the wind's
hail
blowing.
was banging the window, and the trees were flying everywhere. And
My
there's
car might be totaled from the hail, and there's trampolines flying through the air.
Yeah, Libby had one land in her backyard.
It's crazy. I didn't.
Donor finders keepers.
We got a little bit of a thunder shower here, nothing bad, but I did go by the lake and last 2 days walking, and it's up significantly. But Alpha and I were talking about that. The drought map guy. Normally, he doesn't have a lot to do in the newsroom at the TV station, but boy, he's been busy this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah. Normally you just go, yeah, pretty dry out there. And now now the drought map has shrunk considerably.
We're catching up.
Yeah, all through the Shenandoah Valley, Virginia. It's still dry.
We still need a whole lot more.
Oh yeah.
The idea of a drought map is pretty funny, and if you think back, to like probably as late as the 70s, there was actually somebody probably drawing the drought map that they showed on television that they were using. All right. Now, Alpha, you probably know more about this than I do, or Daniel does. What's going on with this Jean Carroll lady?
Oh,
now, she sued Trump. Was that a civil case? It was, right?
Yeah. She is the woman who accused him of sexually molesting her
in a dressing room
at Bergdorf's in New York. At a time when there apparently were no employees, no sales staff in the store, because there was not a single person who would testify that something like that happened. When she was questioned about it, she didn't even know what time of year it was. She couldn't even pin down the month, much less the season. And yeah, she got quite a settlement from that. She's also a woman.
That the jury in this civil trial may be swayed against the president in some way?
Well, it was a New York judge and a New York jury, and they would not allow the president's defense team to present any evidence that was contrary to her argument.
So what are they investigating her for now? For perjury or something?
Well, yeah, making the whole thing up, because it was eerily similar to an episode of what's the TV show SUV? There's a detective TV show,
NCIS or something like that.
One of those, and they had an episode that was just the same thing. Plus, this is a woman who names her cat Vagina. Yeah, she did an interview just the other day and said when she went on trial, her legal team had to work to make her, and this is a quote, look more fuckable.
Ooh. I bet she's probably the kind of woman that would wear the Vag-Lite.
Introducing the new Vag-Lite. Do you like to see at night? Then try Vag-Lite. With our patented technology, you can keep your hands free and your head clear.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody needs one of those.
You didn't play the song.
Yeah, so, because this happened 20 or more years ago, and so her legal team wanted her to try to make her look more like she did then than she does now, because now she's certainly not someone that Donald Trump would find likable.
And they tried every trick in the world to get him not elected, that's for sure.
I mean, there's just thousands of women that have been molested by him.
They're everywhere. I found it interesting yesterday that Jill Biden did this interview where she is admitting what we all saw in the debates while they were telling us, he's sharp as a tack. You go into a meeting with him, you better have your facts straight because he will nail your ass. And then in the debate, we saw this bumbling old man, bless his heart. And here's what Jill's saying now.
As I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke.
Former First Lady Jill Biden told CBS News Sunday morning she was frightened by the way her husband appeared in a June 2024 CNN presidential debate against Donald Trump.
I wasn't horrified, I was frightened because I had never, ever seeing Joe like that.
Ever.
Before or since?
He's never
Or since.
Yes.
Or you've never seen him like
Never.
that.
Really jumped on that.
Right.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. I mean, as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke.
What's the difference between horrified and frightened? I mean,
it's got to be on a scale, just a little bit there.
I wasn't horrified, but I was frightened.
Yes, I was frightened, yeah.
Never seen him like that since, though.
Yeah.
Just that one night. When
I
he missed
love
one time.
that when you watch that and Trump's reaction and Trump looking at him like,
Trump looked at him and said, I don't know what he just said.
And then they go to Trump and he goes, I really don't know what he said. And I don't think he did either.
What he said, he said, anyway, we killed Medicare. And he goes,
we ended Medicare.
Did.
You killed Medicare.
He starts out with like COVID and it didn't have anything to do with COVID.
No, nothing.
And then, I mean, it was just the most pathetic thing.
It was bad. All right, one more kind of serious thing here today. I saw an interview with a guy. I think it's in Arizona. He's the only surgeon in Arizona doing gender reassignment surgeries. And I saw the guy and I said, if I walked in a doctor's office with my kid and he was the doctor, I would throw up and leave if I saw him.
Like, for example, the genital surgeries. I'm the only surgeon in the state of Nevada that does any of those surgeries.
Really?
Yeah, I was the first one to ever perform those surgeries. In August of 2020, I performed the first. It's called penile inversion vaginoplasty. It's basically turning, the male anatomy into a female anatomy.
Would any sane person in their right mind allow that person to touch your child in any way, even give him an exam?
I'm not sure. I'd let him tattoo me, even though he looks like more of a tattoo artist.
That's what it was. I mean, who would let him touch your child, particularly cutting their penis off and stuff?
Well, think about the people that do it. I mean, that's just part of our society, man. I mean, there's so many screwed up people.
Well, the world is upside down. You can't even tell anymore if you're on a Carnival cruise or at a college graduation ceremony.
Oh, boy.
When did that start? When did that become a thing?
Hey, that looked like my granddaughter's second grade transition from second to third about 2 weeks ago.
When did this start? I don't get it.
I have to bite my lip because I don't need to say anything.
There's some people who argue, well, they're just excited, they're just exuberant, and they're expressing their happiness over getting a diploma. But, if they can't control themselves that much, how are they going to be able to handle any situations in real life, in the real world? I mean,
I don't have them. It's a good point, Alpha. I don't have them here today, but I don't know if you've seen them, but there are there are some videos that have been popping up on social media, TikTok and Facebook and Instagram last couple of days. And I don't know if they're real or they're staged. They look real. And it's these two girls, and they're talking to first the teacher, then the principal, and they're telling them that they're not going to graduate unless they come to summer school. And they try to turn it around on the teacher and the principal. And they go, why are you even here? If you ain't going to teach us and graduate us. And she said, I can't graduate you because you didn't do the work. I came to class every day. She goes, well, let's see. Out of the last 14 days, you missed 6. But I came the rest, but you didn't do any work. And they just go on and on and on and on. I don't know if it's real or not, but it just... And then the last one, the mom gets involved, and it gets even uglier. So,
and you look at the rates of how many people kids who are graduating that can't read up to their grade level, and certainly
know nothing.
They
know nothing.
There's a guy in Pennsylvania. I can't remember the school, but there's a social media influencer guy who just got expelled from college because he was going up to actual students that he went to school with and handing them like a paragraph and asking them to read it on camera, and they couldn't. And it's really embarrassing, and they kicked him out of school.
Kicked him out, yeah.
I like the one that goes around on the beaches at spring break and stuff and asks all these questions. And, how many countries are there in the United States?
Yeah. Or what?
5.
Where did the attack on Pearl Harbor happen? They ask questions like that, and they can't answer them.
Yeah. What year was the war? What year was the War of 1812?
Yeah, it's pitiful, man. I'm telling you.
It's sad.
If you like Rodney's daughter, she's a history teacher, but it's world history. It's not American history.
Right.
They don't teach American history anymore.
Because they hate America, Daniel.
They do, because they can't get it through the channels to teach American history because of all the liberal people.
Because there's revisionist history now.
Yeah, it's all about world history.
I don't know if you saw that. Apparently, it's the Australian Parliament or whatever they call it. But there was a member of Parliament for Australia, and she's questioning a woman who's testifying about gender rights, etc. And she was saying that if a trans woman, meaning a man who has transitioned to become a woman, applies for a job, and this person is asked by the employer, do you plan to have children? And that person says yes or maybe, and does not get the job, that person can sue because
of course
I didn't get the job because I couldn't become pregnant.
Yeah.
Well, that's a tricky question anyway. I don't think you can ask.
I don't think in America you can ask that question.
Yeah.
No, but you're asking a man if a man is suing because he's being told he can't get pregnant.
We have these Congress people and senators and stuff that will not admit that a man can't get pregnant.
Yeah, or have a period or breastfeed or any of that. It's a dumb question to begin with, but in America you can't ask the dumb question, at least.
No.
What makes people all over America break down and cry like this? Call 1-900-9099-CRY and hear it for yourself. $2 for the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. If you're under 18, ask your parents before you call. 1-900-9099-CRY.
I'll tell you where there's no revisionist history, where everything is still pretty right side up, and that's at the Villages in Florida. And today we have a montage of people in the Villages having fun. And let's start. Go to videotape number 1, please. You look at these videos, you can always tell which of the seniors used to be the real partiers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because they still have their moves, and then there's the me and Daniel types that we didn't dance or anything. We're just kind of up against the wall.
And you can tell which ones have been in the communion line, too.
Yeah. Now, here they are. Let's go to video number 2. It's the Rhoda party. Remember Rhoda?
Oh, yeah.
What was Rhoda on? What show was that? I can't remember.
Well, it was her own show.
Rhoda?
She started on the Mary. Yeah, she started on the Mary Tyler Moore show.
Okay, and it was the Rhoda show.
It was a spinoff of Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Go to video number 3.
All right, so on the count of 3, then you can shake it down.
Oh.
You guys ready? Ready! I'll say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! Shake it down now.
Take it down.
Shake it down.
Brick house.
They just have a good time at the Villages. I like it.
Bless them.
She's on her walker. Oh, she's on her walker out there.
So kind, I will tell this world that you're mine.
She started early. She did a little pre-gaming.
Alpha, when we have those type of events, we wait a little longer. We get started about 9 o'clock.
Oh, I got you. And then, I think it depends on, at the Villages, they have a lot of different squares where they have these parties. I don't know how many there are, but there's a bunch of them. And I think that the age groups vary a little bit because it's a 55 plus community, but you got 55 to 100 down there, so
Yeah.
big difference. This group here in our final news from the Villages video, this group looks a little bit younger to me. Yeah, they just got a
little sister sling
right there. We're leaning up against the door. Yeah, she just retired within the last couple of months and just got to the Villages. So I think when you first go there, you probably go out to the squares, every other day or so and really party down. And then after a few years, you wouldn't be caught dead in one of those squares,
Oh, it's probably after a couple of months.
You just ride around on your golf cart, and that's about it.
Well,
Get off my lawn!
I'm sure some of them aren't allowed to come back to the parties.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever do this. It's pretty sad, but when I'm really bored, I do it. I get on Zillow. You ever do that?
No.
You don't?
No.
Well, I get on
looking for houses.
No, I just like to look and see, different areas and how much stuff costs. And I don't know, it's just fascinating. It's like you get to go inside people's houses and look. And I'm like Mrs. Kravitz. I'm very, nosy like that. But a lot of times,
somebody just came down the street.
You go look in the Villages or any of those 55 plus, like Lakewood or some of those. You can tell somebody just died, and the families put the house on the market because it's a lazy boy that's been in there for a good 25 years. Sitting there in an old worn out.
There's a bunch of fresh flowers.
Yeah, and the couch is worn out, and the carpet's all dingy, and you just, she finally died, and they're selling the house.
Some unusual stains on the carpet.
Yeah, the Villages are going through kind of a crash right now in real estate prices down there.
Well, a lot of Florida is. I noticed Tampa is too. Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete.
I follow some guys on YouTube that there's 7 or 8 cities that they think are really going to dive, and a lot of it has to do with 2 things: property taxes and insurance costs. It used to be Florida was like a lot of other places. You could have a $300,000 house and you paid $2,500 a year for insurance. And the mortgage rates are okay. Well, after COVID, that $300,000 house became a $600,000 house, and the property taxes doubled, and the insurance quadrupled. Yeah. So now the insurance
cost to rebuild
$1,000, $1,500 a month if you can get so it's just become unaffordable for a lot of people in a lot of those areas like Cape Coral, Tampa, St. Pete. And some of the other inland areas. And then some of the places like Miami, West Palm Beach, Naples, Marco, they haven't fallen a bit.
Yeah. South Carolina seems to be the place everybody wants to go now.
Yeah. I'll tell you, you should go on. I told you, go on Zillow and look at Bluffton, South Carolina. They are building some of the most beautiful houses you've ever seen there. All right, well, I'm going to go peep out the window and see what's going on next door and watch for UFOs.
Have you checked on the birds?
Birds are doing great. We got 3 babies in there. I edited that out yesterday because you really couldn't see them. I taped my phone to the window as a camera, and I was trying to get the baby birds, but they're doing fine. I'll get a video of them and play on the podcast in the next day or two anyway. But thank you for being here. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe down below, like the video. Thanks for checking out the Jack Murphy podcast. Alpha, Daniel, thank you. And Daniel and I will be back tomorrow with a brand new
Monday
Jack Murphy podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for watching the Jack Murphy Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Go ahead, ring it. Get alerts when a new episode drops, and tell your friends about the Jack Murphy Podcast. But only the cool friends, please. Tune in next time for another episode of the Jack Murphy Podcast.